everyone, welcome back to my channel, Speak Crime to Me. My name is Elena. Well, it's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I was just about to pop on and record everything from the closing arguments for the Murdaugh trial, and then found out that there was a verdict in already. So want to talk to you all about just some things I've read since the guilty verdict has come to light and hear from you what you all are thinking. So let's get after it. So I had thought that Alec Murdaugh was guilty all along, but I was reading a very interesting theory and I wanted to get your guys' take on this. So last night when I was reading up on these things, someone had said that maybe Alec Murdaugh was not the shooter and he had hired somebody to commit the crimes. So the reasoning behind this was a couple of things. One, when that debate about Alec Murdaugh saying, I did them so bad or they did them so bad, he could have been referring to the people that he had hired. So the premise behind this is that possibly he had hired somebody to rough up Paul. And I'm thinking if this was true, he probably hired that person to rough up Paul because that trial was coming up, and if he was injured, then maybe that would delay that. And if he had hired someone to rough up Paul, he could have left right in that moment in those couple of seconds, and those people would have been there waiting, and then maybe it was a job gone bad where somehow they shot Paul instead, and then Maggie came running, and then they had to shoot Maggie. I don't know if I believe this or not, but it could kind of go back to the two-shooter idea. I just thought it was a very interesting theory. So as always, comment below what you guys are thinking. Regardless if he was the shooter or not, he definitely is guilty of murdering his wife and child. And it's just hard to believe that anyone could murder their child the way that he did. That is my theory, or a theory out there. So of course, leave your comments. Let me know what you all are thinking. And then I just want to go through, I'm going to show you guys some video clips, some clips that I found last night that were very interesting. So I'm going to tell you what to look for in the clip and then show it to you all. In this clip, it's when the police-led agents arrive and Alec Murdaugh is talking to them, and he's basically saying exactly the time that he arrived back home and basically saying that, check my phone for the exact time.
Okay. I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Okay. Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay.
I thought this clip was a little weird because he's like almost like too forthcoming with the information, like he's trying to cover it up already, because if I just found my wife and child murdered, I would be so distraught. I don't even know if I would be saying anything about time or check my phone or things like that. This next clip goes back to, I think, what a lot of people were probably having a hard time believing Alec Murdaugh was his lie after lie. So in this clip, notice he says that he was at his mother's for about an hour and a half. Remember, after this, he then said that he was gone for 45 minutes. Shelly Smith, that, yeah, I was here 45 minutes, and Shelly Smith's like, no, 20 minutes. And the 20 minutes was proven correct. So it feels like he just can't get his lies straight.
The police are here now.
Affirmative.
That's my brother.
Okay. When was the last time you were here with them, or talked to them, or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
Somebody going to check him?
Yes, sir. They've already checked him.
They did check him?
Yes, sir.
This next clip is very interesting because this was one of the defense's arguments all along about how SLED really didn't preserve the crime scene. If you listen to this clip, this officer is saying about not to cover up the bodies, and somehow the bodies are covered up anyway.
Paul Carey Murdaugh.
And what's his birthday?
Jason, do you have anybody
4.
coming through town that can stop and pick up that tent? I see lighting off in the distance.
What, are they covering him up?
I got some getting dressed now, Sheriff. I'll have somebody stop and grab it.
Tell them they don't have to do that. They don't need to. Preserve what we can. What's your son's first name?
Next clip is, I think, a slip up from Alec Murdaugh. He tells them, they start talking about the tire tracks, and he says that 2 of the truck tire imprints are his. So if they're 2 different tire imprints, doesn't that show that he had been there more than just once to find them, go to the house, and come back for the gun? Very interesting. And you'll notice too that they are trying to preserve all of that area.
I see quite a few tire tracks in here. Were any of these you going in and out?
No, I came in here and I left one time and I came back.
Okay.
But the rest of them, maybe
Okay.
from earlier, but
Okay.
only 2 are mine.
Did you go out this way at all?
No.
Well, it's right.
Hey, stay here. Got a whole bunch of stuff right there. I don't want disturbed.
I was trying to get the door so we can kind of get around that way.
Your best way is probably going to be back through those rocks because we can't get any tracks off those rocks.
This is a good clip to watch. Really pay attention to his body language. And I know there was a lot of body language experts weighing in about him on the stand. So I feel like this clip is a very interesting one, just to see how he acts, what he says, and then how he acts.
When you and Paul got back to the house, Miss Maggie's there, and y'all eat supper, which has been prepared. And you said you laid down and took a little nap. And when you got up, Maggie and Paul was gone, or did they leave when you laid down?
I believe that I'm not sure.
But they weren't there when you woke up around the 9 o'clock mark or so when you made the call to Maggie to let her know you were going to eat.
No, nobody was in that house when I left.
So, and just trying to narrow down the last time that you saw Paul and Maggie's when y'all were eating supper.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tying in with the body language clip, this one is just a classic loophole that he just continues telling. So I thought this was a very interesting one. Again, caught up in all these lies, and it's just like never ending, and I feel like he just can't get off the Ferris wheel, basically.
Well, the man was supposed to be coming home. I've since found out she was worried about me and me worried about my dad. And so she came home. She's going to stay at Idaho.
So it kind of surprised you that she came back?
That didn't totally surprise me. She'd let me know earlier that she was coming home. But then I found out later why she came home. Well, she was...
So this next clip might cause some debate. I want you to listen closely to what Alec Murdaugh says at near the very end. He kind of mumbles, and this is when the investigator is saying that he believes that Paul was murdered first. And we know that he said, I thought Maggie was murdered first. But if you listen, he might have said something else. So I want to know what you guys are hearing from this clip, and comment below and let me know.
Looks like. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I believe Paul was shot first. For the simple fact of where he was located.
How many times was he shot?
Twice.
I thought he shot Maggie first because they could tell he shot her in the back of the head.
So those are all the clips that I wanted to share. Just thought it was a little bit interesting just to... Another thing that I had been really thinking about even before the jury came back with their verdict. I don't know if any of you guys watched that Netflix documentary, but it's very puzzling to me how him, Alec Murdaugh, and his family, his great-grandparents and things like that, pockets. So he has this like police badge where he just carries it like he's a hot shot, and he's like, the law doesn't matter to him. And then the one big thing that the defense kept on arguing was how bad the police handled this case. So I just thought it was very ironic that one moment you're loving the police and you're in their good graces and, you know, getting all this special treatment, and then when you commit a crime, oh, I hate the police and they are not doing a good job. Not sure if any of you guys caught on to that, but so why I have you guys here today, I am just gonna give you guys a quick update that I have seen on the Idaho 4 murders. Again, disclaimer, this is just stuff that I've read, so please make sure you do your own research. So it seems like there was some search warrant documents that were released about items that they found in the Kohlberger family home in Pennsylvania. Remember, this was the home that they actually arrested him and got that DNA sample from. Apparently, they confiscated knives, a gun, black clothing, medical style gloves and masks, and shoes. Another thing that I had read is that Brian Kohlberger supposedly was liking all of Maddie's pictures or posts on Instagram. And I feel like we've all were thinking for a while that his target was Kaylee. Maybe it really was Maddie. And then another interesting article that just came out was with a gentleman who owns a fishing lodge company. It's called Big Brown Fishing, I believe. And Brian Kohlberger worked at this place before he even went to Washington State to get his PhD. And I think this was even before his heavy substance abuse. But again, don't quote me. But basically, this guy was saying that Kohlberger was very weird. I think he only was employed for like 20 days. He had a few hours of training with filleting knives. And this gentleman said that Kohlberger was terrible at this. And that was very abnormal because most people got proficient in it very quickly. And for some reason, Kohlberger could not catch on to this. Not sure what that means, just something interesting that I read that I wanted to share with you all. So I think that's it for today's episode with the Murdaugh trial update and the Idaho 4 murder update. So thank you all again for joining me here on Speak Crime to Me. Until next time.